with our names.
Oh, okay.
Got us in a
So long
van,
since I've been in the office, I
four
just
of
stopped
us,
carrying
and
them.
That's
took us to
nice.
the resort.
Yeah.
Hour, 20 minutes drive, also from Cancun Airport to the resort.
Yeah.
It's a, you know,
I'm not gonna
So you
hurt
got
not
to
a,
It was fine,
you
yeah.
got to see some of the
yeah,
scenery
the
on the way.
city's
stop you from doing anything dumb.
it's another, you know, it's not bad. It does
Yeah. I do a lot of work with
different.
firm downtown.
As David was telling me, the weird thing that all the police, they got machine guns and their lights are always on. Day and night.
Right.
They got like
Yeah,
every
do a lot of work with shoemakers.
2-3 miles, they have checkpoints and all that. But you know, usually they'll stop whoever they suspect. They do not stop
Right.
the van that we were in problem.
No, they're there to protect you.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good. Yeah, but it's pretty neat. You know, we did not go to the other side of the city and Mexico City and all that.
Orlando?
We had no time, and we had so many parties at the resort, like for
Oh, really?
that wedding
I grew up in Jersey.
and for being there. Just
I grew up
you
in
don't
New
need to
Jersey.
leave.
South.
We got in,
Right
we
across-
left,
right
we
across
went to
the
the
river
airport.
from
That's
Philly.
it. They took us
How, how many
Not
days?
South Jersey. Yeah.
We left on Thursday of that week before New Year, the Thursday before New Year, and we came back on that Monday.
Enough kids.
So we gained that Thursday, but the Monday was very nothing because we left the resort at 3 o'clock in the morning. So there wasn't. We were back in here in Tampa around 10
I'm gonna take that everywhere.
That was loud.
Okay. Before we get started with the meeting, a couple things since it's the first of the year. Welcome back. Thank you, everybody. We are a quasi judicial board, which means that everything that you say from the Diaz is recorded. So please keep your comments pertinent to the cases at hand. Secondly, we do not take verbatim minutes, but it's important for the clerk to be able to know who said what. So please wait to be recognized before you begin speaking. With that, we'll begin. The January 10th, 2024 meeting of the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is now called to order. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board, excuse me 1 minute, before I forget. Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether alleged violation of the city code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and the facts presented this evening. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have an opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses. The board members may question any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will be given an opportunity to do so by the chair and must address the board from the podium after giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission to speak from the chair, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. At this time, I'll ask all persons who expect to give testimony this evening to stand and be sworn in by the clerk.
Stand for me. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you. We will be taking cases out of order this evening. I'm going to let you guys know what the case order is. Our first case will be 235969. Our second case will be case number 235567. Our third case will be 2350164. There's a possibility that you may have that twice on your agenda. If you do, it's only going to be heard once, so you can X out the other one if it shows up that way in your agenda. Okay, we ready to get started? Okay, case number 235969.
You do the ex parte.
Oh, yes, you're right. Thank you, Bill. A couple of preliminary things to take care of first. Okay, first ex parte, then our minutes. At this time, I'd like to ask board members if they've had any ex parte communications regarding any matters coming before the Code Enforcement Board this evening. If you've had verbal communications, please disclose the sum and substance of the communications, when and where the communications occurred, or with whom they occurred. If you received any written communications, please disclose the nature of the communications and provide to the city clerk to be filed in the record. Starting with you, Rod?
I've had none.
I've had none.
Had none?
I've had none.
I've had none.
Thank you very much. Minutes of meetings. Everybody have a copy of the minutes held on December 13, 2023. Does anybody have any additions or corrections? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve?
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Okay, on to the first case.
Case 23-5969, City versus Roberto Cuevas, for the property located at 9021 Indigo Breeze Court. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8-28A1, permits application required. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Director Tom Baroni. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Tom Baroni, Code Compliance.
This case this evening originated on December 5th, 2023, by Community Development for a rear patio structure erected without a required building permit. Inspector Smith prepared a notice of violation that same day with a compliance date of December 20th, 2023. Inspector Smith was able to gain service by hand delivery of the notice letter to the homeowner. Inspector Smith reached out to Community Development on December 20th, 2023 to verify if the permit was issued. She was advised that the holdup on the permit was the engineer report that was lacking the required signature and seal, and the application is still in plan check. Due to the permit not being issued or obtained by the homeowner, Inspector Smith prepared the paperwork necessary to present at the violation for the Code Board hearing. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence. Exhibit number 1 shows the structure in the rear yard. Exhibit number 2 shows the screenshot showing that the permit is still in plan check. I'd like to submit at this time.
We'll accept that, thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
As of today's date, the permit application is still showing that it's still in plan check, and therefore the property still remains out of compliance. The owner is here this evening to, if you have any questions for me or the,
Questions for?
Just curious, what is plan check? What's,
that means it's being reviewed by the planners and the building official. So it has to, there's certain paperwork that has to be filled out, and they're still lacking an engineer's report.
so it's nothing to do with the city, it's just an the,
Information,
The
is still-
application-
information is still incomplete.
it's
Right.
incomplete.
Yes,
Okay.
yep.
Any other questions for the code officer? The respondent want to respond?
Hi, good evening.
No, wait, hold on. Come on up, tell us your name and address, and then you can start.
Good evening, my name is Robert Cuevas. I live in 9021. Just retired 20 years Air Force, finally.
Thank you.
Right now, the house, I got the permit from the engineer. He did the plan already. I submit paperwork on December 9, well, in January, I submit first time the application, in January this past year. And I received anything until a few months after. Then I start receiving everything about code enforcement. So I start moving little by little because I didn't know not too many people here. I just chose to live in Tampa after retirement, so I still knowing everything. Finally, I got the engineer, I got everything done. I got the paperwork with me, I got the plans from the engineer. I submitted already to the Department of the application. And I've been in touch with them all the time. Sometimes when they need something, they call me, hey, you need this. I just come drive back here and I do it. I just came yesterday and I asked them, where's my status? I'm waiting for the inspector, I'm waiting. And they just told me they are now in code, excuse me, on plain check. It's in plain check right now at the moment. So I just requesting a little more time so they can finish it. I know paperwork is moving and I'm here.
So the information that was previously lacking, you've now supplied that, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When did you do that?
December 21st. I submit the paperwork for the engineer, the plan for the engineer. That was on the 19th, and then the 21st, Candace, she called me. I was missing one paperwork, and she filled it up with me. I sat down with her, and she said, we're just waiting for them to keep moving in the city.
Okay, so the best of your knowledge, you've now submitted everything that's necessary for them
Exactly.
to do whatever.
If they need anything, they can just call me, and I will find whatever they need.
Yeah, but if they need anything, that means you're still in violation. But again, so the best of the last time you spoke with them, they now have everything they need?
As
That's
I
your-
know,
that's your
that what she told me, it's in a different department. It's not on her department anymore, so it's in plain check. It's in plain check right now. So I don't know, they may come back with something, like it's missing something. I got the engineer
But
plans.
you've
I
given
got
them everything they've asked for?
Yes, everything that they ask, yes.
Any questions for the respondent?
Yes, do you think it'll be done in a month?
It's out of my hand right now. It's in the city, but if the city is still in that department, if they need anything, I'm just retire. I got the time to go and get the information that I need. So yes, it's not up to me right now. It's not up
Any
to
other
me.
questions?
just for Director Barone, but whatever. So is this is consistent with what you know as far as everything that they need has been submitted as far as you
I
know?
don't know that,
All I can tell you, as of today,
Yeah.
it's still in plan check.
Okay.
So he may have submitted all the paperwork necessary, but it still goes through a review.
Yeah.
It still has to be approved.
And
And you're not doing any work, right?
No, no,
Okay.
I haven't touched it. So they will decide if I need to do any adjustment or just waiting for them to let me know what's the next step.
And normally a permit could be reviewed and approved within a month.
Yes.
That's
yeah,
pretty
I think
standard.
Within 30 days,
Okay.
should be approved.
Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay. I'd like to start, you know, David, thank you,
Action, baby.
especially after the new year.
Okay.
And be re-signed for another 3 years. In case number 235969, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 9021 Indigno Breeze Court with the applicable code violation, section 8-28, subsection A, subsection 1. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation of which was received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before February 14, 2023.
24.
2024, sorry. If the respondent does not comply with this order or before that date, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Sir, you have been found in violation of the ordinance. You have 30 days to bring that property into compliance, which means getting your permit. Shouldn't be a problem. If something should come up, you'll need to come back to us on our next meeting, which is February 14th, and at that point, you may ask for an extension. No guarantee that you'll get one, but you're welcome to ask. Okay? So good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank
Next
you.
case, please.
Next case is 235567, City versus Mercedes C. Marrero Hernandez and Wilian Aguilar Diaz for the property located at 9834 Terrace Trail Lane. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8-28A1, permits application required. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was initiated by a citizen complaint on November 3rd for a shed in the backyard. I forwarded the complaint to Community Development, who placed a red tag on the site for installation of a shed without a permit. I prepared a notice of violation on November 7th with a reinspection date of November 13th, 2023. I posted a copy at the residence, and a copy was posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were also mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. My communication with Community Development showed no permit had been acquired, so a notice of hearing was prepared on December 29th, 2023, and the case was scheduled for the January Municipal Code Board meeting. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by myself on September 21st and December 29th.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation posting, and exhibit number 2 shows a screenshot of the stop work order. As of today, the site is not in compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Very good. Any questions for the code officer?
Yeah, I guess, do you know a status of the permit, of the application for the
I checked
permit, or?
earlier in the week, and they said that no permit had been applied for.
And is there architectural
There's
design required with this as well? Is it,
I until something's
don't really
applied
know.
for. I have no idea what.
They
the-
apply, once
Oh,
they find
okay.
out once they apply.
Okay, got you. Okay.
Question, is
Go
there,
ahead.
is it like an issue of like too close to a fence or too close?
Yeah, I'm not able to, we're not allowed to go beyond the front door.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we had to send it over to the code, community development,
some
because they're
clarity.
allowed
Come on up.
to go around in different areas that we are not allowed to go to.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's an issue of the size of the shed, proximity to the fence, or property lines, or,
I think we're about to get some clarity on that.
Alice Haas, the building official. It's a metal shed that was put in the backyard without a permit. It was too close. They've since moved the shed over. We just haven't got the plans and the paperwork yet, and the permit to permit the actual shed. The owners are here, so if you have questions, you can also ask them, but they're in the process of getting us the permit applications and the requirements.
Just for everybody's education, if it's under a certain size, you don't need a permit, right?
Any shed, if the shed is 151 square feet or less, it's manufactured, brought in on a truck, picked up and sat on the ground, doesn't require a permit. Anything that's assembled on property requires a permit, regardless of the square
Regardless of the
footage.
size. Okay,
It has to be, if it's built, it has to be permitted.
okay.
That's where we are.
And I assume this one was built on
Yes.
site, okay.
And
It was like the aluminum shed you buy at Home Depot or anything like that. That's what it was.
Okay.
very good, thank you. Any other questions? Did the respondent want to address the board?
Good afternoon.
State your name and address for the record first.
Yes, my name is Carmen Barreiro. This is my mom, Mercedes Marrero. I'm translating due to a language barrier. Address will be 9834 Terrace Trail Lane. We have come over here multiple times in order to ask a permit, and as they said, he did, I'm sorry, I do not remember his name. Yes, he went and we did allow him to go into the backyard, and he did tell us that it was too close to the fence. Therefore, we did move it, and we're just here to ask for an extension to get us more time in order to get the permit within the week, so we can get it over with as soon as possible.
What's currently stopping you from getting the permit?
We had to came to here today. That's why. And she did came over here a day or two, un día o dos antes. ¿Cuándo fue que viniste? La semana pasada. She did came here last week. Yeah, last week. Yeah. But she was missing a paperwork, and she was gonna get the paperwork printed. And if I don't mistake, guys need that paperwork being printed and also in a flash.
Let's drive.
Yes. So, with that being said, she needed that in order to get the permit.
So you think you have all that now?
Yes.
Okay.
¿Qué cosa? Mira que tú hablas. Oh, also, I'm sorry. The person that was helping us, other than him with this paperwork, he was on vacation, which is he was the one notarizing and everything. The paperwork for us, he was on vacation, so there wasn't much to do other than her.
So you now have all that, it's all notarized?
Yes, we do.
Did you drop it off today, or you need to just still drop it off?
I would drop it off between tomorrow or just within this week.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you, you can have a seat.
Okay, thanks. Have a great night.
Don't go anywhere. Okay. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll get this one.
Thank you.
In case number 23-5567, I move the city is proven by a greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 9834 Terrace Trail Lane. Applicable code, section 8-28, subsection A, subsection 1. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before February 14th, 2024. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. I think you need to do your certification for the translation. Yeah. Yeah, because I want to explain to her what just transpired, so. Can you, both of you come on back up? Because the violation is in your mother's name, right, not yours?
Yes, under her name.
Okay, so we're going to have to go through a little process here.
Since you're translating,
Yes.
we're gonna just, you know how we did an oath for the fellowship, we're gonna do a translator oath.
Sure.
So, you swear or affirm that the translation you make from English to Spanish and Spanish to English is a true and accurate translation?
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm going to explain to you what's happening. I want you to explain it to your mother, and then I want you to have her let you know she understands, and you're going to tell us. Okay? So you've been found in violation. You can tell her now, or you can tell her later, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, continue.
You have 30 days to bring the property into compliance, so let her know that.
Si pasamos la violación, pero tenemos 30 días para entregar los papeles.
Okay?
In a
If the
sense.
property is brought into compliance within 30 days, there's no fine.
Okay. Si ponemos el permiso dentro de los 30 días, no nos van a poner ningún tipo de multa. Que no nos van a poner multa. Ajá.
Okay, if the property is not brought into violation, starting on February 14th, there'll be a fine of $25 per day.
Si a partir del 14 de febrero no podemos eso, tenemos una multa de $25.
If she can't bring the property into compliance by February 14th, she needs to come back here with you on February 14th, let us know, and at that point, she can ask for an extension.
Okay. A partir del 14 de febrero puede pedir una extensión. Okay. Perfecto.
There's no guarantee she'll get an extension, but she can ask.
Pues no hay ninguna garantía de coger otra, pero puedes preguntar igual.
Okay, does she understand all of that?
¿Entendiste todo eso? Yes.
See?
She's good.
Gracias.
Thank you.
All righty, thank you very much.
Have a great night.
You too. Next case, please.
Okay, case number 23-500164, City versus PPG DT Temple Terrace LLC for the property located at 8942 Bertha Palmer Boulevard. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of section 28. I believe it's going to be actually 56.
50, yes, the violations number is 856A.
856A, fire alarm system not operational. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Fire Inspector Cletus Squires. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Cletus Squires, Fire Inspector for the City of Temple Terrace Fire Department. This case was generated on October 10th when the Risk Reduction Department for the city received a phone call from the private provider that they were no longer providing service to the business due to lack of payment, and the fire alarm would be shut off. I attempted many times to contact the property owners over the week to let them know the status of the property, and by means of left voicemails on the phone, called the registered agent, the owner, and sent U.S. mail and also email with no response. So after that, and due to the urgency of the fire alarm being a life safety issue, I filed a notice of violation on October 17th of 2023. The property was posted and certified mail was sent at that time. Certified mail was returned unopened to me. Okay, so going all the way back to October with the city attorney and not assured that proper notification was given to the owner, we were able to do that through a notice of hearing that we were going to come to the board in December, but we weren't assured that there was proper notice. So our Director Baroni delivered a notice of hearing for tonight's hearing by hand when he met the owner of the property through at the Hillsborough County Court. And then they followed them over to the property and actually visually remove the posting that was on the building that I placed there.
Is this on the retail portion or the apartment side?
It's the retail portion.
Retail portion, okay.
Yes, sir. Multiple businesses, which I was going to get into. So if it's all right with you at this time, I'd like to submit my evidence. It's photo evidence of,
Why don't you walk us through each photograph and
Yes,
then,
sir.
and then submit the packet in the evidence?
okay. So my first photo is going to be just of the fire alarm, showing that there's no power supplied to it and that the alarm's obviously turned off. Okay, the second one is just going to be a photo of the front of the businesses to show that the building is occupied and there are working businesses in there with no fire alarm, which is the violation of the city code. And my third and final photo evidence is going to be a picture of the side of the building where Tico has shut the breaker off and tagged it with their lock and closed it off. That supplies the power to the fire alarm for the common areas of the business. The businesses themselves have their own electrical meters and pay for the inside, but the one for,
Fire alarm is a common and that's.
correct, sir.
That's been written.
It supplies all the businesses in the building.
Okay.
Okay? Submit it.
Thank you. We'll accept that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So have you ever been able to make contact with the
No,
owner?
no, sir, I have not, to this day, since October to now. And I've had issues in the past with him. I know that doesn't really matter for this case, but the fire alarm company, I'm just saying on their side, they've carried them for a year and kept it on.
Wow.
And they just said they can't afford to do that anymore. They're not in business to do that. So they notified me of that, okay? So at this time, as of today, the property is still out of compliance. I actually viewed it even today just to make sure. And requires several steps to bring that back up into compliance. First of, the power needs to be turned back on. The fire alarm needs to be serviced because it hasn't been serviced now in almost 2 years since the fire alarm has been serviced. And with that, they'll make sure that the devices are still all working properly and the batteries and everything's working properly and certify it. And so that's about it. It's something that could be done fairly quick. He's just got to make the move. The one I can't speak to is how long it's going to take for him to address it, where Tico to turn the power back onto that situation.
Oh, and he's got to come to terms with the fire alarm people, right?
Well, the fire alarm people, I'm sure if he makes good on it, they will show up pretty quick, as per my conversation with the fire alarm provider.
Yeah, but it's probably, they want a year's worth.
That's correct. They're going to want payment.
just-
Yes, sir.
What
in
does
advance.
this mean to the leasees? People leasing the spaces?
Well, at this time, they're operating, status quo. They have, no,
I mean, does there come a point in time where you shut them down because of no fire alarm?
well, that comes from above me. So if the fire chief decides to shut them down, we'll shut them down tomorrow.
But is that a possibility?
It very well could be between the building official and the fire chief if they decide to do that. But because there is, your point is, I'm thinking you're getting to it, there is a life safety issue.
Yeah.
Our city code says there's required to be a fire alarm in the building, and there's no operational fire alarm, and the building is occupied and working as status quo as they do day to day. I can name the businesses that would be,
I know who they are.
okay, very good.
Okay. Any other questions?
Sure.
Is this the downtown area, the new?
Yes, sir.
downtown area?
Yes, sir, the shops, the fountain shops.
Who's I just missed it, the responsibility of the shopping plaza owner to have that operating.
Yes.
Right, it's always gonna be the owner, even if you lease it and say the responsibility is to the tenant, we deal with the owner of the property by the way it's designed. So,
The way it's working right now is the tenants pay their own electric bill, but the fire alarm system is powered by a common electric that is paid for by the developer owner.
Did the bill. Yeah.
Correct. So those particular buildings, since the inception of them being built, were designed exactly as just stated. They have a common fire alarm for all the businesses in there. And that's something that, I don't know what their individual leases are, but it's required, whoever takes care of it. From our standpoint, it doesn't matter, but it was set up, and that fire alarm was put in there and tested prior to any of those businesses being occupied in there by myself.
That's when they first built the shopping center.
That's correct.
And they got their CO and all that.
Correct.
Everything was operational.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But, like I said, by myself, I checked it myself, so.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
How often does the fire system need to be certified?
Every 12 months.
Okay, so they were already out of compliance with that anyway, because it had been, you said, 2 years.
That's true. As far as being out of, they didn't have their inspection, but it was still operational, so it would have went off. Other words, it still would have worked,
Okay.
even though it wasn't
But
inspected.
what you're saying is all this stuff can happen at once. You just turn the power on, you go down and recertify it, and we're good, hopefully we're good to go as long as there's no faults.
Well, correct. He's got to have the power turned on and the fire alarm turned back on. And it's because it's being dispatched and monitored.
That can happen pretty quick as long as all it takes is money, right?
Sure. You just take the money. Yes, sir. There's probably as far as the fire alarm, I don't know if being it's been turned off, if there is going to be any problems with that, being it hasn't been serviced, as your point now, in a couple of years. But I don't imagine it's a new system, other than maybe putting a battery or something in the panel, right? Which can be done probably within 30 minutes to an hour service call.
As soon as they have the battery on the truck. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions?
I just,
Go ahead.
just to be clear, so, right now, there's no way for anybody, for the city to know, or the fire department to know that there's a fire. I mean, it would smoke, basically. There's no other alarm system, there's no other, the businesses don't have their own alarm systems or anything like that.
So there's 4 individual buildings down there. 2 of them have alarm systems. One of the ones that have the alarm system has a sprinkler system in there, the large restaurant. But they're taken care of by the tenants, the other being the bank and the restaurant. Okay. The 2 other buildings that have multiple tenants are the 2 in violation. Okay, for the plaza, and they only have a fire alarm, they don't have a sprinkler system, but the fire alarm's been turned off, the supplies that, so you're correct, if there was an issue at any one of those buildings, there would be no notification for the people to evacuate the building, and there would be no call to a dispatch to call fire. Someone would have to manually call by a phone and
Any other questions?
pass her by.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the respondent is not here?
No, sir.
Okay.
I've never met him. The attorney has met him. I've never seen him, so.
He's not here tonight.
But I don't think he's here.
Okay.
And if I may, Mr. Chair, I also wanted to point out to the board that there are 2 previous violations with this property. If you looked on your lien list, they're gonna be
Trash
numbers
bin thing.
73
Trash.
and 76. So we have, as you know, if you determine that a fine should be assessed,
Yeah.
the fact that there's other violations is.
Thank you.
One other question, is there any difference as far as the maximum fine to be assessed for this type of violation versus
We're still, because of the size of the city, we're capped at the 200
250? Okay,
a day.
A day.
per day, right.
Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do that.
Thank you. Whenever you're ready.
Yes. In case number 23-500164, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the city's Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 8942 Bertha Palmer Drive, Boulevard, sorry. look, with the applicable code violation, section 8-56, subsection A, fire alarm system. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement, from Cletus Squares Risk Reduction Fire Department. Along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before February 14th, 2024. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before the day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance upon the considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator. I move the fine be $250 per day.
I'm not gonna ask for a second because I think because of the gravity of the situation, Ernie would like to say something, and I have something to say if he doesn't, so.
Because of the life safety
Yeah.
issue, I think the city
Time.
would be asking for a
Short of time.
shorter time
Yep,
period.
how about
I was
a week from Friday? Is that too late, or is it?
I think that may be appropriate, because we're gonna have to send out and mail,
Right, so-
the orders out, and we'd rather
That would-
the orders get to the person before a fine starts, but not, not have that
That would be
deadline
the
date.
19th of January. Does that work for you? 19th of January work for everybody?
Yes, all right, I agree.
Okay,
19th.
19th of January.
Do I have to amend my?
Yes.
Read it again?
Read it again.
Okay.
There you
All
go.
right. In case number 23-500164, I move the city have proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the city Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 8942 Bertha Palmer Boulevard, with the applicable code violation, section 8-56, subsection A, fire alarm system. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Risk Reduction Officer, Fire Department, Cletus Squares. Along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing, I further move that said violation be corrected on or before January 19th, 2024. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $250 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion?
Well,
Go ahead.
They already owe almost 80,000 in accruing fines. They already owe a year's worth of fees. Is there anything else that the city can do to put pressure on them aside from just giving them more fines?
No.
Okay.
Sure.
You know, he's got the big book out, so.
Yeah, we had discussed that, and
Ernie,
yeah,
just introduce yourself.
oh, I'm sorry, Ernest Mueller, Deputy City Attorney. If we don't get any response on this, I talked with Mr. Baroni, and our plan would be probably to take this to the court, to the criminal
Okay.
court.
Also, I like the fact that they can shut him down, shut the business.
Well, that doesn't hurt him, it hurts the.
It hurts the small
I mean,
businesses.
They're paying rent.
Yes, they're
They're
paying,
not- Yeah, so.
They still have to pay rent if they shut down, though.
and they're paying, I assume they're all paying rent, so. It's not a good situation. Okay, if there's no further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Okay, we're gonna go to unfinished. It's gonna be the second one under unfinished.
Okay,
23-3311, City versus Abdul Hussein Sharbani. For the property located at 332 Sunnyside Road, the deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight.
Has he been sworn?
No, I don't believe so.
Let's get him sworn in.
So you're gonna have to raise your right hand and she's gonna swear you in.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Good evening.
Hang on, I think Tom wanted to.
Tom Baroni, Code Compliance. This gentleman here, we brought to the Code Board last month for a permit requiring for the new installation of a driveway.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Okay.
And he's just here tonight to, I guess, request an extension. So I'm not sure. Sir?
Good evening.
Introduce yourself and then.
Abdul Sharabiani, I reside at 332 Sunnyside. During our last session, I was granted extension until today, January 10th, to secure the permit. Since then, I've contacted the planning department, engineering department, and what I'm told is that the planning department has approved it. Now it's in the hand of engineering. I've tried coordinating with whoever's reviewing the document, and I haven't been given. I've been given a verbal indication that the portion of the driveway within the right-of-way may need to be in concrete, even though the rest will be gravel. And we're trying to kind of come to a resolution, since this is a secondary driveway. My primary driveway is on Sunnyside, and that's full concrete. I still have to deal with a sewer line and some stump in that general area before I can do that. So I haven't been given a direct answer whether my request can be granted or not. So I would respectfully request an extension.
Apparently got some oral direction from them.
I've been told that the portion in the right of way needs to be concrete per city code, and I kind of pointed out to a couple of properties that are similar to mine where their entire driveway up to the edge of pavement is gravel, and I was told that it's going to have to escalate to the upper management.
You believe you'll get it all sorted out? And
I'm hoping. I mean, one way.
and again, it's
one
not,
way.
you don't have to have the construction done. You just have to get the permit.
Yes, I kind of need to be told yes or no.
Well, you don't need to be told. You need something in writing.
Right, correct. And then at that point,
You think 30 days? will
I'm
get-
hoping I'll get an answer in 30 days, and then I can fairly quickly construct the driveway. I don't need the 6 months timeline, but I'm hoping they would listen to my reasoning for why this portion needs to remain gravel until we address it.
Okay, what's your pleasure, guys?
I would move to extend it 30 days until, what, February 14th?
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second that.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Does the city have any problem with the, okay. Motion, we have a motion, we have a second. There's no further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays? You have your extension. Again, if something comes up and you don't have your permit by February 14th, you need to come back and see us again. Okay, good luck. Okay, we're going to start at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back at the beginning, it's 23-3443, City versus Asbel Reyes and Maria Reyes for the property located at 829 East River Drive. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-10213C, roof maintained in good condition. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case was originated proactively by Officer Silva on July the 7th, 2023. Officer Silva's inspection noted a blue tarp being used on the damaged roof of the residence to prevent moisture from entering the residence. At that time, Officer Silva opened a case and monitored the location. On August the 11th, 2023, Officer Silva noted no change, so Officer Silva left the door hanger with a compliance date of September the 20th, 2023. On August the 22nd, 2023, Officer Silva was contacted by Ms. Reyes in reference to the violation. Officer Silva ascertained the roof was damaged during Hurricane Ian and the blue tarp on the roof was from the insurance adjuster. Ms. Reyes provided a copy of the letter from the insurance adjuster via email to Officer Silva. During Officer Silva and Ms. Reyes' conversation, additional time was granted and advised eventually the city would move forward with a notice of violation if the roof was not repaired. Officer Silva's inspection on October the 24th, 2023 noted no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of November the 27th, 2023. No one was at home, so Officer Silva posted the notice letter at the front door. He also requested copies be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. On November the 27th, 2023, Officer Silva received a phone call from Mr. Reyes advising a settlement was reached with the insurance company and that the roof was going to be repaired. On December the 14th, 2023, Officer Silva inspected the property and noted the blue tarp still on the roof. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence taken by Officer Silva of the violation.
We'll accept that, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit number 2 shows the blue tarp on the roof. As of today's date, the site remains out of compliance, and I am seeking a ruling.
Any questions for the code officer?
Yeah, maybe you had any communications?
No, sir, I have not. I have not had any communication with the homeowners.
So no excuses, no reasons why they might be having an issue with,
Sir, I have no idea. There's been a change. Officer Silver retired. I'm the new inspector for the zone, but they could have called code and, said they wanted to give some kind of update. They knew, the case was still out of compliance. I have not received any messages to return any phone calls. I have not been contacted by email. So the last communication was by Officer Silva.
and you don't
Any
have
other questions?
any internal, you obviously have not been in the house, you don't know of any.
No, sir.
How bad it is as far as the.
No, sir, I do not.
Okay.
We know the house is occupied
Yes, sir.
as residence.
Yes, sir.
We also
The
know
tarp
that
is
you
still
received a
on.
settlement check.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, supposedly.
Okay, any other questions for the code officer? And of course, the respondent's not here, so with that, I'll entertain a motion. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'll do it.
Okay.
In case number 23-3443, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 829 East River Drive. Section, oh, I lost it, sorry. Sorry, I lost the,
8-102-13C.
Thank you. 8-102 subsection 13 subsection C. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before February 14th, 2024. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Okay, next case is 234684, City versus Miriam Y. Sandoval, for the property located at 12610 North 52nd Street. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 8-10213C, roof maintained in good repair. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on September the 15th, 2023. My inspection revealed the front fascia deteriorated and the north side soffit in disrepair. At that time, I left a door hanger with a compliance dated the 16th of October, 2023. My inspection on October the 23rd, 2023 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of the 9th of November, 2023. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested copies be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on October the 24th and December the 22nd, 2023.
Accept that, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit 2 and Exhibit 3 shows the front fascia in disrepair. Exhibit number 4 and number 5 shows the north side soffit in disrepair. Mr. Chairman, I contacted the homeowner on November the 9th and also on December the 4th, 2023, concerning the violations. However, I have not heard back from the resident. As of today's date, the site remains out of compliance, and I am seeking a ruling.
Thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
Yes, is it all over the house or whatever you could see?
It's, from what I could see, sir, it was, the front fascia and the north side soffit.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll do this one.
Thank you.
All right, case number 23-4684. I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 12610 North 52nd Street. Code Section 8-102, subsection 13, subsection C. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I move that said violations be corrected on or before February 14th, 2024. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
Case 23-4984, City versus Alejandro Alvarez for the property located at 5215 Lawnwood Drive. The case is before the board based on an alleged violation of Section 10-3B Sanitation, grass weeds. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on October 3rd, 2023 for overgrown conditions. I left a door hanger with a reinspection date of October 6, 2023. My reinspection on October 19th showed no change, so a notice of violation was prepared on that date with a reinspection date of October 26. I posted a copy at the residence, and a copy was posted at City Hall, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the owner of record. My reinspection on December 21st showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing on that date, and the case was scheduled for the January Municipal Code Board meeting. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by myself on October 11th and December 21st, 2023.
We'll accept those. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation posting. Exhibit number 2 shows the overgrown condition. The site is now in compliance, and I'm seeking a finding and would like to submit an affidavit of compliance.
Certainly accept that. Thank you. Any questions for the code officer?
Just one question. Just curious if obviously it was, it started in October, but we didn't see it until January. Is there a reason why it?
Just prioritizing various cases that came before the board.
Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 234984, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 5215 Lawnwood Drive. That's Section 10-3, subsection B. The motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because violations are brought into compliance prior to the date of hearing.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
Okay, case 5044, City versus BAF 3 LLC for the property located at 9901 Morris Glen Way. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8-10213C, roof maintained in good repair. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Good evening once again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on October 5th, 2023 for growth in the rain gutter and overgrown conditions. I left the door hanger with a reinspection date of October 9th, 2023. My reinspection on October 11th showed no change, so a notice of violation was generated on that date with a reinspection date of October 26th. I posted a notice at the site, and the notice was also posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of owner. On December 21st, my reinspection showed that the grass had been mowed, but the debris in the roof had not been removed. So I prepared a notice of hearing on that date, and the case was scheduled for the January Municipal Code Board meeting. This time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the site taken by myself on October 11th and December 21st, 2023.
Accept that, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the posting of the notice of violation. Exhibit number 2 shows the growth in the rain gutter. It's a little bit difficult to see just to how close we were able to get to take it, but it's about a 3 to 4 foot long streamer of.
Put that back up.
Looks like Spanish moss.
Yeah, if you look beyond the white fence there on the house to the left,
Yeah, gotcha.
see something hanging down about 3 to 4 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I see.
It's a simple fix. It just,
Is there no growth in any other part of the gutter?
no, doesn't appear to be.
The property is currently still out of compliance?
Yes, sir. It's a rental site, so I just am assuming that the tenant just probably doesn't care.
Like there's a downspout there too that probably is clogged up, I'm guessing.
So there were,
Okay, any questions for the code officer?
yes, there were 2 violations. They corrected one?
Right, they mowed the yard, but they didn't bother to pull the debris out of the gutter.
Yes. So the mowing, okay.
Yeah, that wasn't brought before us
Oh, the
because that
gutter.
came into compliance before I went to the notice of hearing.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do that.
Okay.
We are in case number 23-5044. I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the city Temple Terrace city code exists on the property located at 9901 Morris Glen Way, with the applicable code violation section 8-102 subsection 13 subsection C. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer Doug Allen, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before February 14, 2024. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon the considering of the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Okay. Case 23-5140, City versus JR Premier Properties LLC for the property located at 606 Courtney Drive. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8-28A1. Permits application required. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Director Tom Baroni. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are properly served. And let me correct that address. It's a 608 Courtney Drive.
I have.
Good evening, Tom Baroni, Code Compliance. This case this evening originated by Inspector Jose Silver on October 11, 2023. His inspection that morning noted a carport wall was enclosed with new windows. Later that morning, a check with Navaline noted no permit was obtained for the work. Inspector Smith Silver took a photograph of the work and was sent over to Community Development. On November 9th, 2023, Inspector Silver checked Navalon again to verify if a permit was issued, still showing no permit. At this time, Inspector Silver prepared a notice of violation with the compliance date of December 9th, 2023. He posted the notice at the front door of the violation and requested copies to be sent out certified in first-class mail. He also requested a copy to be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. A stop work order was posted at the property by building inspector on November 12th, 2023. A check with Community Development on December 15th, 2023 noted no change in the status of the permit. At this time, I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the violation. Exhibit number 1 shows the notice of violation posted at the front door, and Exhibit 2 shows the photo taken by Inspector Silver on October 11th showing the newly installed windows on the south side of the carport. I'd like to submit it this time.
We'll accept those, thank you.
I also would like to add that on December 18, 2023, when I hand-delivered the notice of hearing to the hand delivery of to the property owner, I also noted the installation of the windows myself. So Jose Silver is not here tonight to verify it, but I'm verifying that I saw the violation myself.
Okay.
Still there.
Well, as of that inspection on January 10th, which was Monday, he demoed the construction work. So he brought the status back to the original state that it originally was. So he took the windows out, and now it's just back at the original state it was. So no permit is
So
required.
it's in compliance.
So it is in compliance.
Okay. Wow.
Okay? So I'm going to submit an affidavit of compliance at this time as well.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay?
Thank you. We'll accept that.
You can see in this photo, the windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw 'em.
They're not there anymore.
Wow.
They're no longer there.
Okay. Any other questions for the code officer?
Out of curiosity, what's the cost of that permit?
About how much is
This is good.
Yeah, $600 or $700.
That might explain it.
Yes.
So it just has holes in the wall.
Well, it's just one big opening.
Like it was before?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay?
Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll do this one.
Fine.
Let's find the right one here. Okay, so in case number 23-5140, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City, oh, sorry, never mind. Case number, let me start over again. 23-5140, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 608 Courtney Drive. Code violation, section 8-28, subsection A, subsection 1. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Director Tom Baroni, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and a notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violation was brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
A case 23-5588, City versus Curtis D. Gay, for the property located at 12305 North 53rd Street. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of section 10-34, sanitation, keep premises clean. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on November the 7th, 2023. My inspection revealed an inoperable vehicle with no tag on the driveway, a trailer stored in the front yard, interior debris accumulation on the front porch, tires beside the driveway. At that time, I left 3 door hangers with a compliance date of the 15th of November, 2023. My inspection on November the 27th, 2023 revealed the utility trailer had been moved. However, the remaining violations were still outstanding. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of the 12th of December, 2023. This property is no trespassing, so I posted the notice at the front property line and requested copies be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violations taken by me on October and November 27th, 2023.
Accept those, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Laura.
Exhibit number 1 shows the notice letter posted at the front property line. Exhibit number 2 shows the inoperative vehicle with no tag on the driveway. Exhibit 3 shows interior debris accumulation on the front porch. Exhibit number 4 shows tires and auto debris by the driveway. Exhibit number 5 shows interior furnishings on the front porch. As of today's date, the site is now in compliance, and I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance. I'm just looking for a finding.
Certainly accept that, thank you. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 23-5588, I move that city approving by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 12305 North 53rd Street with the applicable code violations, section 12-860 and section 10-34 sanitation. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
Next case is 235644, City versus David Bruce Phelps and Jan D. Phelps for the property located at 11014 Cinder Lane Place. The case is before the board based on a alleged violation of Section 8-28A1, permits, application required. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. The city has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening once again, Mr. Chairman, board members, Lori Smith, Code Compliance. On November the 9th, 2023, I was contacted via email by Community Development requesting a notice of violation to be completed referencing the open stop work orders at the residence. At that time, I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of the 27th of November, 2023. Affidavit of service was obtained by hand delivery to Bruce Phelps. At this time, I would like to submit a screenshot of the stop work order in Center Square.
Accept that, thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows a stop work order for shed replacement walls. Mr. Chairman, Ms. Phelps came to Community Development the day the notice letter was delivered. She provided additional documentation that was not on the original application. On January the 2nd, 2023, Ms. Phelps contacted me by phone and indicated the shed was still up and said that she would be taking it down. As of today's date, the site is now in compliance. I'd like to submit an affidavit, sir, and I'm just looking for a finding.
You can submit the affidavit, but just for clarification, I believe I heard you say January 2nd, 2023. You meant 24, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
No problem. Thank you, and we'll accept that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you. Thank you. So the shed is out.
Yes, sir, it has been taken down.
Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 23-5644, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 11014 Cinder Lane Place. It's code 8-28, subsection A, subsection 1. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. Further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations are brought into compliance prior to the date of the hearing.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. That completes our hearings. On to unfinished business.
Okay, unfinished business. We're going to start with case 23-1848, City versus Anthony Moore and Jillian Moore for the property located at 941 North River Hills Drive. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case number 234683, City versus Mariah Selensky and Dominique Selensky for the property located at 325 Brentwood Drive. The deadline for compliance was December 13th, 2023. An affidavit of noncompliance was submitted by Officer Jose Silva for Section 10-34, dated December 14th, 2023. Case number 234772, City versus Carlos Alberto Rivera and Evelyn Rivera for the property located at 8008 Dorado Court. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case 234825, City versus Anthony Moore and Jillian Moore for the property located at 941 North River Hills Drive. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case 235007, City versus Alejandro Alvarez for the property located at 5215 Longwood Drive. The deadline for compliance was December 13th, 2023. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Doug Allen for Section 12-860, dated December 14th, 2023. Case number 235152, City versus Aldwin LLC for the property located at 405 Park Ridge Avenue. The deadline for compliance was December 13th, 2023. An affidavit of noncompliance was submitted by Code Officer Doug Allen for Section 8-28A1, dated December 14th, 2023. Case number 235495, City versus Milton Vernon for the property located at 5417 Rainbow Drive. The deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight. Case 235531, City versus Roy Peretz and Kathleen Sarah Lerner for the property located at 6006 Soaring Avenue. The deadline for compliance was December 31st, 2023. An affidavit of noncompliance was submitted by Code Director Tom Baroni for Section 22-91, dated January 2nd, 2024. I have cases not on the agenda. Case number 222060, City versus
Before you do that, I've got one other case, 5152.
5152. The City versus Aldwin LLC for the property located at 405 Park Ridge Avenue.
Yes.
The deadline for compliance was December 13th, 2023. An affidavit of noncompliance was submitted by Code Officer Doug Allen for Section 8-28A1, dated December 14th, 2023.
Thank you.
Okay. Not on the agenda, case number 222060, City versus Ron Mogerman TT Holdings LLC for the property located at 12909 North 56th Street. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Code Officer Lori Smith for Sections 12-1043 and 12-1047, dated December 22nd, 2023. This case is no longer accruing a lien. Case 226653, City versus Helen R. Carl Brown for the property located at 707 Aberdeen Circle. The city offered a lien reduction on this property. The offer was accepted in the settlement amount of $300 and city cost of $254.91, totaling $554.91 has been paid.
Yay.
Case 231696, City versus Mission Street Homes LLC for the property located at 7815 Bellar Drive. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Allen for Section 12-921, dated January 4th, 2024. This case is no longer accruing a lien.
That's it. Very good. Any other board action?
Just curious, what is this?
I don't know what this is.
Motions for.
Motions for lien?
Are you about to find out?
Okay, all right.
Surprise.
Just wait, Ben.
About to,
Yeah, I thought you were about to adjourn.
One question, the last cases that she read were not on our list. Okay.
yes, that's what she said before she started. She said
Yeah, I
these.
know.
Okay. All right, it's the Ernie Show.
All right, good evening, Ernest Mueller, Deputy City Attorney. You know, as the board has taken an interest in, wanting to address some of these cases on the liens list that we have.
Ernie, what he's referring to is the spreadsheet, so if you want to open that up, he's going to be referring to that often, so. Sorry, Ernie, go ahead.
Hey, no problem. So before we can address these liens and needed to go through them and make sure that the liens are still collectible and good, or whether they're, really gonna be impossible to collect. So I'd like to go through actually 12 of the cases with you tonight, and we'll be asking you to, if we could, if you agree, to remove those from the liens list.
Yeah,
Brian,
you've all
good
been
with
given
the,
a list of the motions required to remove them. And you also have the spreadsheet that shows you the address and what liens, what fines have accrued, et cetera.
So our first one is going to be line number 30, which is the Willie J. MacArthur. Was for a violation at 214 Redwood Avenue. This was a tree cutting violation, and actually the Willie MacArthur was Willie's Tree Service. The tree that was removed property owners thought that the tree cutter was going to get the permit. But anyhow, the property owners, they did mitigate the violation by doing the replacement. The tree did need to be removed. I can certainly show this photograph to you. You can see the tree was right next to the house. So just so you know. But it was, like I said, it was mitigated, but the city did proceed against the tree cutter, the tree trimmer for that. The code board had ordered a fine of $250 a day and capped it at $3,500. The tree trimmer company was administratively dissolved in 2015. The city arborist is satisfied with the mitigation and said the tree's location was problematic and would have easily qualified for an arborist letter if that violation occurred today. Since we're not gonna, since the Willie's Tree Service is gone, I really think this is going to be a lien that's gonna be impossible for us, close to impossible for us to collect. And again, code violations are normally against the property. Remember, the tree trimmer didn't have property for us to really lien, other than perhaps a truck and a chainsaw. So at this time, would ask that, due to the circumstances that I've presented to you, that this case be removed.
Just so you all understand, for each of the 12, I only got 8, but, well, there's multiples, okay. So for each of the 12 liens that Ernie's going to be discussing, we will need a separate motion to remove it from the lien list, which is why you have that motions for removal lien list. So if the board so desires, I will now entertain a motion to remove case number 10-0502 from the city liens list.
I have a motion to remove case.
Well, read the motion, please.
Yeah. I move to authorize the removal of case number 10-0502 from the city's lien list based on the information provided by the Deputy City Attorney Mueller.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
Next one is actually number 31 on your liens list. 10710 North 56th Street, Bab El Hara Hookah Lounge. And you'll see that that lien amount is $250. That was a violation for failure to pay a business tax in 2011. As you can see, the lien was capped at $250. We did a little investigation on that. I also looked at the minutes back for that code case, and the owner of that business did indicate that he had felt he had paid that tax. I did a little research and saw, and the our finance department advised me that all of the that there was no outstanding business tax for that year. Also, the business no longer exists. So, for those reasons, I would be asking the board to remove the $250 lien from this liens list.
I'll entertain a motion. Somebody,
I'll do this one.
Go ahead, Brian.
I move to authorize the removal of case number 12-0079 from the city's liens list based on the information provided by Deputy City Attorney Mueller.
we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Right, next one, so the next 10 cases, yeah, great, will be, are all foreclosures. So I want to give you, use this PowerPoint to give you a little idea of the foreclosure process and why I will be asking these be removed because we've been foreclosed out. You'll see that important dates on, for a foreclosure case, the first one is when was that mortgage recorded? Because in the state of Florida, first in time, first in right. So if our lien is recorded after the mortgage, we're going to be subordinate to that mortgage, and if it does get foreclosed out, there stands a real good chance, based on a couple of circumstances I'll explain to you, where we'll be foreclosed out. The next important date is what's called the lis pendens. The purpose of a lis pendens, and that comes in, that gets recorded at the same time that the foreclosure complaint is filed. What that does, the lis pendens, by being recorded in the official record, is supposed to put everybody on notice that this property is in foreclosure, and if you record some sort of lien or judgment after this date, it will be wiped out. All right. The next date, of course, is we go through the foreclosure process. At some point, there will be a judgment by the judge saying, granting the foreclosure and would set a sales date. The property will get sold at auction, and then once that happens and it transfers to a new owner, that's when a certificate of title is issued, and it's upon the issuance of that certificate of title that any of the subordinate liens are going to be wiped out at that point. All right, so thanks to Alan's work. All right, so, and the next case we'll be looking at is case number, number 3 on the liens list, which is 8210 Broward Place. And you'll see on the screen here that our lien was recorded, well, the mortgage was recorded on 5/24/2006. Our lien was recorded on January 23rd, 2008, so it was afterwards. The certificate of title was issued on February 11th, 2014. Since our lien was subordinate to the mortgage, at that point, we were foreclosed out.
What does foreclosed out mean? I'm just,
It means it's no longer attached to that property.
okay.
Let me check something real quick. Now, what it does do, our liens do attach to other non-homestead property that would be in the county. And I have checked county records, or the property appraisers database, and saw that there is no other property owned by, or that person, the Christopher Totten does not
Just to
own.
be sure, so we can't attach to anything that's outside of Hillsborough County?
We can if we record in that county.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if we know someone has property in Pasco,
Okay.
we can go ahead and record in
That's where
Pasco.
you record it, okay.
Yeah, but we're only,
Are we allowed to record in multiple counties?
absolutely.
My question is, on those cases, is the violation still in existence? Did it stop occurring?
Well, if we look at the liens list, Jen's done a wonderful job of color coding it. The orange cases, or the cases highlighted in orange are still in, would still be active, and you'll see that this case has been complied out. It was complied on September 10th, 2008.
2008.
2008.
So that was done.
Yeah, so there's no active violation, but the lien was foreclosed.
But the lien 16,400 can be wiped out.
It was
It's not-
wiped.
It's not collectible.
Yeah, it's not collected. Okay. Now I.
Yeah, it's no longer attached to that property.
Yes.
Okay, and I'll entertain a motion.
All right. I move to authorize the removal of case number 07-1434 from the city's liens list based on the information provided by the Deputy City Attorney Mueller.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, no nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
All right, the next one is numbers 6 and 8
6 and 8.
on the liens list, and that would be property located at 439 Biltmore Avenue. Right, and you'll see we actually have, whoops, did I mess up here?
2 of them.
There it is. Nope.
Oh, where is that one? There it is. All right, we have 2 liens on this one. You'll notice that the mortgage was recorded on October 4th, 2007. The Liz pendants was recorded on July 12th of 2011. Our liens came after that, so 7/24/2012 and 7/22/2013. The certificate of title was issued 7/25/2013. At that time, both our cases were foreclosed out from that property. Double check something here. On this property, the owners have one other property in the county, but it's homestead, and it's not attached.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Do it. I
Thank
move to authorize the removal of case numbers 12-0769 and 13-0853 from the city's liens list based on the information provided by Deputy City Attorney Mueller.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
All right, the next one,
35.
actually, it's going to be 7504 Gadsden Drive, which is number 35 on the liens list. All right. And you'll see on this one, the mortgage was recorded December 11th, 2007. Our code enforcement board lien was 12/16/2016, so after the mortgage. The certificate of title was issued in August 23rd, 2018. At that time, our code enforcement board lien was foreclosed off of that property. And you'll also notice that in March 16th of 2019, the city actually released the lien from that property.
Okay.
And of course, this is the estate of James Edward Hinkle. There's no other property owned by that person in the county.
All righty. I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll do one. Join in on the fun. I move to authorize the removal of case number 16-0561 from the city's liens list based on the information provided by Deputy City Attorney Miller.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those,
I had 3 seconds.
Oh.
oh. Pick one. Pick one. Who's your favorite? All right. We have a motion. We have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
Right on it here. This one is 7818 Bolera Drive. You'll see we have 3 liens on that one. Those are numbers 36, 37, and 41. The mortgage was recorded June 6, 2007. Liz pendants, July 25th, 2013. Our liens were 2016, August 11th, 2016, August 19th, 2016, and November 29th, 2018. You'll see that that last one occurred after the mortgage was foreclosed, but all our notices went to the previous owner and not to the new owner. So we have bad notice for that last one. And again, I checked the property appraiser's database, and I saw that this person did not own any other properties in the county.
Plus, our liens were after the judgment was issued, so wouldn't matter anyway, would it?
I'm sorry, what's
Our
that?
liens were issued after the judgment was issued, so it probably wouldn't matter.
Absolutely, I mean, yeah, but usually I'm looking at that window between the the Liz pendants and the certificate of title.
If we were,
This one
if
we
we're
had
still
one.
in a viable window, we can get property that's not property, like, well, that's not land. We can get motorcycles, trucks, campers.
Absolutely, yeah,
right?
personal property that, yeah, and I think was there the $2,000 homestead on exemption on $2,000 worth of personal.
But that, and that wouldn't be shown up, that wouldn't show up on the property appraisers.
No,
You have to go do a search some other some other way, right?
and I mean, this person's already lost. the
No, no,
house.
I'm saying, if the circumstances were right, if we had a good window,
Yeah,
if the fine was big enough, if we had a good window, and even if they didn't own property in Hillsborough County, but they had a motorhome, we could go after that.
correct. It would be an extra step. It's not as easy as, doing a foreclosure on actual non-homestead property. We would, I think, have to convert it to a judgment and then be able to do that.
My other question is, when you, Federal National is a bank, it was owned by the bank?
Yeah, it was I think at the time,
Violation.
that third violation, but not the second one. And again, these violations are probably occurring, if you noticed on that one. Brian, can we go back to that? Thank you. You'll see it was 5 years for that foreclosure to finish up, and if someone's left the property or whatever else, that's what's gonna cause your violations, is the fact that it was going through foreclosure.
Bill, you had a question?
Yeah, I was just curious how these cases come before the board, if it's knowledge, if the knowledge is already there that that the property is, the list pendants has been filed, how does that even get in front of the?
I do not believe at the time that they were aware that the Liz pendants, that this property was in foreclosure. I'm not sure, I wasn't here at the time.
Right,
so
yeah, I wasn't
speak to that.
blaming you, I just was curious how.
Yeah.
Just sometimes the electronic records at the county level takes time to update and stuff, so.
Well, that, or I don't know if it was checked.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
don't
it
know.
wasn't checked,
But
yeah.
going forward, you guys are, I guess, checking to see, is that something that you would proactively do to?
Well, it's something I'd probably talk to the department on and see whether they have the resources to even do that too.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
Can I just add something there?
Yeah.
So you bring up a good point. Back then, the director of code enforcement wanted us to present those cases. So this way, it was out in the public that we were addressing the violations. So the grass at that Bollard Drive was 3 feet high.
Oh.
The council and the mayor at the time were not happy with code enforcement not taking any type of action. And our reasoning was, we've exhausted everything we could to get the property in compliance.
Okay.
That
That
makes
was-
sense, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll now entertain a motion if there's no other questions.
Yes, I'll do this one.
Thank you.
And those are three. I
Yes.
move to authorize the removal of case numbers 16-0600, 16-0659, and 18-1014 from the city's lien list based on the information provided by Deputy City Attorney Mueller.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
Yes, the next one is for 9406 Allen Brook Street. That will be case number 38 on the liens list. And again, you'll see this one, the mortgage was recorded back in July of 2006. Our code enforcement board, actually, the Liz pendants was filed and recorded in June of 2013. Our lien was December 1st of 2016. And the CT was issued a year after that, and at that time, our lien was foreclosed out off of that property. And I did check the property appraisers, and there was no record of this property owner, the property owner at that time, owning any other property in the county.
Okay. If there's no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll get this one.
Thank you.
I move to authorize the removal of case number 16-1487 from the city's liens list based on the information provided by Deputy City Attorney Mueller.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
All right, and the last one. It's going to be 5301 Rainbow Drive. Those are cases 39 and 40 on the liens list. And as you'll see, mortgage was recorded February 2014. Liz pendants filed in May 5th, 2017. Our liens were November 28th, 2017, and April 24th, 2018. CT was issued November of 2018. We fell in that window. We were foreclosed out at that time. Again, I checked the property appraisers database, and this property owner owns no other property in this county.
Okay. There's no other questions. I'll entertain a motion.
This one.
Go ahead.
Move to authorize the removal of case numbers 17-1592 and 17-3269 from the city's liens list based on the information provided by Deputy City Attorney Mueller.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Thank you, Ernie.
And I'll be checking again the next month. I'll hopefully be bringing a few, well, hopefully the rest of them are collectible, but I have a feeling they'll probably.
Yeah, that's one thing I did want to mention. I think, if we've got non-homesteaded collectible properties, we need to, start letting them know that we know.
Yes. Very much so. That's why I kind of want to clean up the list so that when I do send out letters and we do take other action, they are actually collectible liens.
Perfect. Okay, very good. Thank you. Anybody have any other questions? Okay. That takes care of the lien list. Or lien, we still need to go through the lien list update? That was it? Okay. Okay, new business. Anybody have any new business? I do. First, I want to thank Rod for reapplying and getting reappointed. Congratulations.
I'm very happy to serve another 3 years.
Awesome. Secondly, I'm going to put our intern on the spot. Why don't you come on up and introduce yourself? We have a new legal intern who's going to introduce himself and tell us where he went to law school and where he's going to law school and how happy he is to be here.
So exciting.
It is a pleasure to be here. My name is Alan Bangiev. I am in my last semester at Cooley Law School, and I look forward to being here. I'm learning so much and seeing a panel of this nature conduct business. It's inspirational.
You're graduating in May?
Sorry?
Graduating in May?
I walk in April, yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
And then when would you be taking the law exam?
Ooh, July.
July. Wow. Quick, yeah. Good luck.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Congratulations.
We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
And I heard that he helped on the lien list.
He did. He put, that was one of the things I want to bring up, new business. Thank you for doing that. That really makes it easy to understand,
Very nice.
yeah, why we are, why they're uncollectible. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, both of you. So the other thing, Tom, are you guys now actively hiring to replace?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Okay.
Maybe the end of February.
End of February? Okay. So you guys are gonna be super busy until then.
We can handle it.
I know you can.
Mike,
I know you can.
Yours?
Tom's.
Tom.
I knew my light was red.
Yeah, Tom, just the first time he talked.
Okay, the other thing is, tonight is my last meeting, unless I get reappointed on next Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, at the council meeting. I have reapplied, but, it's up to them. It's not up to me. So I've done my part.
I'll make sure I'm there at that meeting.
Okay, okay. I certainly would like to serve, but if that does not happen, tonight would be my last meeting. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about, and we talk about this every month, is when the clerk typically sends out notices to you guys with the agenda and everything at least a week before the meeting. In that email, you will see, let me know if you're going to be here or not. Please try to promptly respond to that. I know emergencies come up and you can't be here, but we pretty much all know our travel plans a week in advance. The clerk's office has many more things to do the Wednesday of the meeting than chasing us down to figure out if we have a quorum or not. So check your emails, respond promptly, so she's not spending time trying to call us to see if, whether or not we're gonna be here, whether or not we have a quorum or not, okay?
Like, sometimes we like to hear from her.
Well, then you call her.
That's true.
You call her, bring her treats, she likes that.
Very happy to hear from you.
You'll hear from her at the meeting, okay? And she'd be very happy to know you'll be there so she can hear from you.
I'm always here.
Okay, but it's nice, we need you to officially respond, and don't respond all, but respond to her, and respond promptly, so we know we have a quorum, and you guys can do all your catching up, get here early, you can do all your catching up then.
I like your point that you have plenty of time to notify her. We meet once a month, so if you have plans to travel,
Yeah.
you have plenty of time to notify.
I understand you're all volunteers, but you volunteered to do something, and let's all strive to cooperate with the clerk's office. They got lots to do. I think that's it.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a. Well, it doesn't count. It doesn't count unless it comes from my mouth. Okay, so, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.